My mom brought up something over the weekend that in the moment I was like, this is either the most depressing thing you've ever told us or like the sweetest thing, and we should be cherishing this. So I was doing an Ask Me Anything on my Instagram yesterday, and somebody had asked me about how I'm feeling about my family right now, like where I'm at in my family life and with our relationships and how everything is going. And I said that this is probably the second favorite phase in my life with my family. The first phase has got to be like when you're kids and like you're taking family vacations to Disney and you're staying up until 3 a.m. and eating Twizzlers. Like it doesn't get better than that. This, I think, is my second favorite phase because we're all adults and, we have new people entering the family. So it feels kind of like it's season 5 of a long running TV show and we're getting like new characters who are like shaking up the bunch. Like my cousin got married and, we love her husband and, my brother's now met the love of his life and he plans on proposing soon. So it's kind of like we have all these new characters to our little family bunch, which is sweet.
It's a fun season of the Murphys.
The Murphys. So it's been cool, and there's all these fun things we get to plan, like weddings, and we're trying to plan my brother's proposal. I have no idea if that's happening anymore, but it's been a really good phase of life. But with that requires a lot of change, and change can be really sad and really sentimental. And my mom brought up that exact fact, and it's funny that it's kind of following what you had talked about with Hollis with the whole my old ass quote, where you're like, you never know when something is going to be the last time you're experiencing something. One day you just wake up and you go, like, I'll never do that again, or life will never be like that again. So because of all these changes that my family is going through and just the new characters that have been invited into the bunch, my mom, while we were driving to a restaurant, while we were all celebrating Mother's Day with her this weekend, it was me, my dad, my brother, and my mom. We're all in the car, and my mom just starts getting all teary-eyed, and she goes, "Thank you guys for being here this weekend. Like, I'm so glad we get to hang out." But she looks at all of us, and she brought up something I never thought about for this weekend. Like, I thought I was just going to go hang out with my family, and we were going to call it a day. And here we are with an existential statement from my mom, where she looks at all of us, and she goes, "This is the last time probably that it's just gonna be us four." And I was like, well, dang, that was quite the truth bomb to drop at 7:30 p.m. on a Saturday. And I'm looking around, I'm like, oh my God, like this is probably the last time it's gonna be just us four, because that's what happens. Like when you choose to marry someone, which is what my brother has done, is now all of a sudden, anytime we go celebrate a holiday, that person comes with us. And that's not a negative thing by any means. Like that's, again, it's like season 6 of the episode, or season 6 of our show rather than like season 3. But It is kind of like sitting in that season finale and being like, oh, this is probably the last time our holidays are going to look like this. And it was a weird thing to sit in because I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know how I feel about change, and if this is something I need to be sad about, or if it just needs to be something I need to sit in and appreciate in this moment.
Yeah, when I sent that to Hollis, and if you weren't listening half an hour ago, I played a clip from this movie that I really, really loved this year, My Old Ass. And it's about two people that are sitting in a rowboat, and as Abby is saying, they're trying to take in that this might be the last time they're ever with each other. So I sent that to Hollis yesterday because he's on this trip to Rome with a bunch of his friends from school. But the truth is, it is sad. When they get off that plane, there is some sadness there that they're all going in their different directions. One's going to this school. The other one's going to this school. This one's starting a job over here. So to be sad for a second about it, I think is totally appropriate, or even longer than that, but also appreciating like, okay, I'm taking this in right now. This is the last. I will remember this time forever.
I mean, there is a technicality, Abby, because if your mother chooses to be a monster-in-law, she can cause your brother to get a divorce from his wife, and then it'll once again be the 4 of you guys.
Oh my God, so it doesn't have to be the last time. Do I see that happening? Absolutely not. Yeah. But there was a moment where my mom just starts crying. I'm like, oh no, this is real sad. Things got sad real quick. I thought we were having a fun time. Now we're all crying.
There is something about a mother's sentimentality that just takes things to like the next level.
No, and I think the important thing to remember is like when life changes and you have these new beginnings, I'm also trying to remember that those new beginnings will also have last times. So I think having the hindsight and knowing that going into it, that at some point my brother will have kids and there will be a moment where it's like, oh, it'll never just be the 5 of us anymore, or God willing, I trick a man into loving me, just the 6 of us anymore. So I'm trying to remember as we're entering this next phase that at some point there will be a last time for that, and to just soak things up for from start to finish.
I think it's funny because as much as we're talking about embracing goodbyes, I've never been good at that. I've always tried to pretend like the last time wasn't the last time so that I wouldn't have to feel it being the last time, but it's the truth of the matter is when you do embrace it, you do get to hold on to it. And I've also learned normally when it's the last time of something good or equivalent is coming after that you can embrace at the same time.
And that's exactly what's happening. So if my brother can ever get down on one knee, for God's sake,
Things
we'll
are
get to
happening
there.
fast, man. It's going to happen quick.
I mean, it hasn't even been a year yet, so there's really no rush except from my mom, who's like, you need to do this now.
She wants grandbabies real bad, doesn't she?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Bert Show.